Hello, friends. Liverpool have finally signed the next Sadio Mane for just 44 million. Since Sadio Mane's departure from Liverpool, a significant void has emerged in their attacking lineup. The Reds have yet to adequately replace Mané and his impressive contributions over the past few years. While Mohamed Salah has continued to score goals from the right wing and break more records, the left wing has seen a noticeable lack of goals. That is, until now, as Arne Slot has helped Liverpool discover the true successor to Mane's legacy. Why Gakpo has become the heir to Sadio Mane's throne. On a cold, frosty evening, Liverpool found themselves in need of something special to regain momentum against a Man United side that had surprised them with their performance on the pitch. For much of the first half, the Reds seemed out of sorts, and United were by far the superior team. When Lisandro Martinez found the net past Alisson, it felt like a goal that had been coming for a while. At the other end, Liverpool struggled to break down a disciplined defense. But then, almost out of nowhere, Gakpo stepped up. The Dutch forward glided down the left wing, entered the box, cut onto his right foot, and blasted the ball into the top corner of the net. That goal shifted the momentum in Liverpool's favor. The crowd at Anfield came alive, and the atmosphere was restored to its electric best. This wasn't Gakpo's first such moment either. On Boxing Day against Leicester City, he scored a beautiful finish. When Liverpool needed another goal to secure the game, Gakpo was there once more, assisting Mohamed Salah for a goal that had eluded the Egyptian throughout the match. In his last 14 games, Gakpo now boasts 12 goal contributions, averaging a goal or assist every 67 minutes. Although it's a small sample size, those numbers are on par with Mane's best performances for Liverpool. Gakpo may not have consistently lived up to expectations since his arrival. Signed for a fee that could rise to £44 million, The Guardian, he showed moments of promise under Jurgen Klopp, but struggled to maintain consistency. However, under Arne Slot, he has found the form that had been missing. With Slot's guidance, Gakpo has finally become the long-awaited replacement for Sadio Mane. He is the left winger Liverpool has been seeking since Mane moved on. United was another confirmation of Gakpo's arrival. At last, it seems Gakpo has truly come into his own. Liverpool must learn to handle title expectations. It won't be easy. Many had expected Slot's team to dominate against Man United, but the draw revealed that the biggest challenge on Liverpool's path to the title may be themselves. They arrived at Anfield hoping to clear away any doubts and kick off what they envisioned as a 6-month title celebration. Instead, they left with their champagne still a long way from being popped. 4 years ago, Liverpool's clash with Manchester United was the game that sparked Jurgen Klopp's charge to the title, confirming what everyone already knew. Liverpool were going to be champions. Perhaps the memories of that moment were still fresh. Having seen that movie before, many in Merseyside might have expected a repeat performance. But this time, there was no premature conclusion. Even with Liverpool's 6-point lead, the mood felt different, more tense, and less certain about a swift title victory. A win would have sent fans singing about winning the league, but the draw left a sense of frustration as, for the second consecutive season, a comfortable home win over United was expected but not delivered. To United's credit, they were determined not to play the role of obliging guests at their rival's celebration. If anyone were to mention complacency around Arne Slot and his players, they would likely be banned from the stadium for life without appeal, and rightfully so. Neither the manager nor his staff show any signs of assuming that the title is already within their grasp. The current squad also understands that impulsive certainty about the outcome has led to disappointment in the past, particularly in the last few encounters against United, twice in the Premier League last season and once in the FA Cup. While the atmosphere at Anfield may have been louder after Liverpool conceded, it wasn't an unusual reaction. Teams like Brighton, Fulham, and Leicester City can attest to that. It's clear that the notion of Manchester United no longer being a formidable rival has the potential to reduce the intimidation factor and ultimately impact performance levels. Liverpool may have fallen into the trap of wanting to win this game too much, with the added symbolism it would have brought. If Mikel Arteta is looking to inspire his Arsenal players and fans, he might do well to remind them how much Anfield longs for its team to win a title in front of their supporters. Arsenal shares that same longing, of course. In such circumstances, it becomes an EV. Liverpool's 2-0 victory over United during that campaign remains the most memorable moment, as it was the closest Anfield came to experiencing what was to follow when Mohamed Salah and Alisson embraced in front of the Kop. Soon after, the pandemic struck, and Liverpool's only title since 1990 was secured in a sterile, empty stadium. Klopp's players never had the chance to feel the full range of emotions that define a typical title run. The anxiety, hope, excitement, frustration, panic, and joy before the parade. Every team at the top has to go through these emotions. Liverpool experienced them 4 times under Klopp, though they never reached the final moment of celebration, with Manchester City thwarting them 3 times. Regarding these stages of title success, Slot has quickly dismissed any sense of anxiety and instilled hope, easing fears that Liverpool might slip back into the chasing pack following Klopp's departure. Excitement has surged as his team has extended their significant lead. Despite this, the fan base remains hesitant, unable to fully shake the lingering doubt. City have taken a break. Arsenal aren't the same side as in recent years. Chelsea are still rebuilding, and everyone else would see a top 4 finish or European qualification as a great achievement worthy of an open-top bus celebration. There have been times around Christmas when it seemed only Liverpool saw the Premier League as a realistic goal. This could explain why the final whistle here was met with near silence. It was the sound of a fan base yearning for the club's 20th title, yet still carrying the uncertainty that it may not be as smooth as they hoped or others predicted. With higher expectations and a growing sense of defeatism from the competition, the conclusion seems inevitable. Liverpool's biggest challenger this season may end up being themselves. Slot could never have imagined that he'd need to caution against prematurely declaring his team as champions. A home draw against United is a minor setback, not a cause for alarm. The ultimate lesson is this: title winners must always write their own story until the final page and never assume they are following a predictable narrative. West Ham evaluates striker options with Evan Ferguson and Hwang Hee-chan among targets. West Ham United are compiling a list of forward targets for January, with Brighton's Evan Ferguson, Wolverhampton Wanderers' Hwang Hee-chan, and Middlesbrough's Latte Lath being considered. Injuries to Michael Antonio and Jared Bowen have left West Ham short of options up front, making it their top priority to address this issue in the January window. However, the club is also eyeing midfield reinforcements. The Hammers would prefer to bring in players on loan, though they may raise funds through player sales to facilitate permanent transfers. As reported by Telegraph Sport, Ferguson has been linked with a loan move away from Brighton this month, and it's understood the club would prefer to see him remain in the Premier League. Ferguson has made 14 appearances for Brighton this season, scoring just once, but the 20-year-old Republic of Ireland international is still highly regarded and has attracted interest from several clubs. West Ham have reportedly made an inquiry about Ferguson, but Brighton are waiting to assess the fitness of Danny Welbeck before deciding on his future. Wolves rejected a $21 million offer from Marseille for Hwang last summer, and the South Korean forward has netted 2 goals in his last 2 appearances under new manager Vitor Pereira. Lath has drawn attention from several Premier League clubs, including Leicester City, after scoring 9 goals for Middlesbrough this season. Heavy defeats to Liverpool and Manchester City have intensified the pressure on manager Julen Lopetegui ahead of West Ham's FA Cup match against Aston Villa on Friday. Reports suggest that the club is currently prioritizing strengthening Lopetegui's squad over replacing the manager, though this situation could change. In addition to compiling a list of forward targets, West Ham aims to sign a new midfielder this month, with Chelsea's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and Carney Chukwuemeka among their targets. January is seen as a critical month for technical director Tim Steidten, who, like Lopetegui, is facing pressure after West Ham's summer signings failed to meet expectations. If West Ham is eventually forced to make a managerial change, it is believed that Graham Potter may be open to taking on the role temporarily until the end of the season. Matheus Cunha is reportedly close to agreeing to a new, lucrative contract at Wolves, which would provide Vitor Pereira a significant boost in the club's battle against relegation. Cunha and his representatives are in advanced discussions about a new deal, and it is expected that the Brazilian forward will commit his future to Wolves within the next 2 weeks. As first reported by Telegraph Sport on November 29th, Wolves moved quickly to secure their standout player by offering him a long-term contract at Molineux. It's believed that the new contract could include a release clause that only activates if Wolves are relegated from the Premier League, though the full details have yet to be finalized. Arsenal have shown interest in signing Kuna, who has scored 10 goals and registered 4 assists in the Premier League this season. However, Wolves have not been concerned about a sale this month and have been in advanced talks with Kuna for several weeks. The 25-year-old will miss Wolves' next 2 games after admitting to improper conduct following an altercation with an Ipswich staff member last month. Kuna has traveled back to Brazil for a family matter and is expected to return later this week. Meanwhile, Wolves are finalizing a $15 million deal for Reims centre-back Emmanuel Agbadou. The Ivory Coast international is flying to England this weekend for a medical and will become Pereira's first signing. Agbadou is expected to attend Wolves' home game against Nottingham Forest on Monday night. Pereira remains unbeaten since taking charge in December and has suggested that more signings could follow this month. He said, "We are working in the market like other teams. I'm trying to understand what my players can give me for the style of play that I want to see. The club knows that we need 1 or 2 players in other positions, and it's important to bring someone in, but I'm happy with my team.